Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Stu, and this is Terrorworld for Rollercoaster Tycoon Classic, the last scenario in the Terrorhenk pack. This behemoth of a park is one of the most famous of its kind. You must acquire a large number of guests while keeping up your pristine reputation. Your objective to have at least 4,750 guests in your park. You must not let the park rating drop below 700 at any time. Well, we've got a large park then, and I can see what he's gone for, kind of like one of those title screen parks that they have on the original games. We've got that mechanic where if it drops below 700 and we don't raise it in enough time, it will close the park, and already I can see some issues. So let me have a good deep delve around the park, and then I'll come back and I'll let you know my thoughts. Okay, so I've had a good look around, and probably one of the most immediate things that we're going to have to address is the eye-watering debt. We've got 500,000 debt at 12% interest, so that is going to cost us thousands every month in interest payments alone. But it's not all doom and gloom, because all of the coasters are set really low, like £2 or £3 or something like that. So we can go around and we can put them all up to £10, and we should start making a profit very quickly. And there's a lot of coasters, at least 25, possibly a few more. I've noticed that some of them have got named after Iron Maiden songs. There's a lot of issues with the pathing. Look, there's a dead end here. So, and let's see if guests are starting to have any issues. Need to go to the toilet. Okay, so maybe we haven't left it playing for so long for problems to crop up, but we've got some pathing problems like that. That's going to cause, it looks quite cool, but it's going to cause us some issues. Look, you've got underground rides, and where is the exit and entrance? You've got the, it's hard to tell. So let's have a look. And if I can't see it, guests and mechanics are going to have issues as well. Hide land surface. Okay, so we've got the exit coming out over here, and we've got the entrance coming up over here. That's going to cause problems. We've got a few boat rides, which we're going to get rid of. There's some rubbish rides like the Heartline Twister there. I don't even see the point in keeping things like that. You've got a maze right in the middle of a lake there. I mean, we'd be better off getting rid of that and just bridging straight across. We've got the monorail cycles there. We'll get rid of that. 3x3 pathing traps there we're going to get rid of. We've got rides up in the middle of nowhere like this hairpin coaster and the spiral slide. We'll probably get rid of them. The golf, what is the point? We've got things like this twister here, which looks pretty cool, but it's got very low throughput. So we can add maybe a block section to that, split the stations for some higher through points. Another thought then is none of them are running with block sections, so we can swap them out for that to just improve the general safety of the ride, because if we get any crashes, we're going to be in some serious issues. Another problem as well is the amount of things that are behind the entrance and exit. So here's the entrance and exit there. Generally, I don't like having any pathing behind that point, because it causes issues with guests getting lost and stuck. So I think that's enough to get along with. I mean, on the plus side, we haven't got to research everything. Everything's already out, but we don't have a lot of stuff. I mean, we've got tons of the flat rides and things like that. But in the way of the coasters, we are going to have to double up if we're building any new ones. Here's the thrill rides. And with such a high guest goal, we are going to need a lot of rides. And there's all the shops as well. So, yeah, I think to begin with then, as I said, I'm going to go around tidying up things. I'm going to check all the rides, Get rid of the ones we don't want, set the ones that we do want to £10, change them to block sections. So that might mean changing little bits of track and things like that. Putting all the umbrellas to 20, that sort of thing. So let's crack on and we'll review when we've done some work. April year 1. So we've done a quick pass through then up in the tickets. So as you can see, right tickets, we've got 13,000 last month. Loan interest was 7,000. It's a bit less from the previous month because we've got that loan down to 453. So I've gotten rid of quite a lot of rides, got rid of everything on this island because it's right smack bang in the middle. You've got the exit just there. So what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to have pathing coming across here leading back, because if guests are getting lost and stuck, which they are and they will do, they're going to need to come this way if they want to leave the park, and having too much stuff confusing them is going to be a problem. One thing I've done as well, we've got a monorail with 4 stations. So this one, I've got it to just an exit. So this is the dumping off spot. Let's follow it round to the next one. And then all the others then, we've just got entrances. So these are all picking up guests. And then as it comes back round to the start, then it's dumping them off. So any guests that are wanting to leave, they're down in this spot as well. I've got another trick up my sleeve, which we might do as well to help that. But yeah, I've got rid of quite a few things here. I want to tidy up this area as well long term. There's a lot of things I need to do. I mean, it's crazy how bad this scenario has been made, which is intentional. I mean, it takes a lot of skill to be able to make it like this, you know. There's some very good coasters which will look to keep. There are some which are just in the wrong spot, or they just take too much effort to fix. One thing I have done, let's have a look. I've tidied up the twister a bit. I'm probably going to do another pass of it to improve the pathing and things like that. So at the moment, this is making us some good money. Let's have a look at the profit. Oh, there you go. You can see there some of the coaster names there are Iron Maiden songs. Power Slave is obviously one of the more obvious ones. Trooper. I'm not too familiar with some of them. The Ancient Mariner. There you go. Yeah, so that's generally the plan. We're gonna have to. We can't focus on sections now. We just have to make quick passes, to try and sort of get as much done in a small space of time, and then keep doing that until eventually we're at a point where we can sort of zone in on those areas. But we're not there yet. October year 1, we got the loan down to 414. We're making 17,000 per month. So we got that loan coming down a little bit. On the outside of the map, if you can see the brown path, so I've got a one-way path leading all the way. I've got everything on invisible at the moment, so you can't see the rides. So I've got this path leading all the way around the outside, and then I've got sort of one-way entry slots onto that path at certain points. So if guests are getting stuck, they get onto this, and then it basically funnels them all the way back to the start. And if they want to leave, they can leave. We're getting lots of problems with guests being lost and they want to leave the park. I think that there's an issue either with vanilla RCT2, which this is a port of, or there you go, we're getting a warning, or whether they made some sort of changes with Classic and the pathfinding just isn't as good. There is something I can do to test that, which I will do at some point later, and I'll maybe add some graphics. One thing I'm doing as well is I'm going in to the thoughts, and I'm looking, there you go. I want to go home. And then what I'm doing is I'm looking at the faces, so grumpy, and just tweezering them there. And I mean, that's not fun. This is starting to annoy me now. But yeah, I don't know what else we can do. I mean, I want to crack on and sort the pathing out, like this area here, this whole sort of part. It looks good, but it's just the guests and the staff just can't handle the complexity of this path. So I need to address those things, but I can't if I'm having to stop what I'm doing every couple of minutes to tweezer guests to the exit. It's quite frustrating, really. So yeah, I'm just going to carry on and see what happens. June year 2, loan down to 408,000, so not as big a drop as before. I'm taking drastic measures now because I'm fed up with the constant micromanaging that I'm having to do with tweezering the guests and that sort of thing. So I've got rid of some of the stuff at the start area, put down a couple of these 6x6 hotel coasters there to make it look nice. I want to get this whole sort of area at the front like a sort of a real, like a park resort type feel. So I'm going to redo all this. I'm going to redo this island here. But for now, then I'm being more ruthless with the pre-built rides. So I've closed down one of the most popular rides in the park is this hype coaster just over here. It's got great stats, but because it's at a dead end over here, guests are struggling to find it. So that's causing me issues. So what I'm going to do is I'll leave it closed until I address the pathing. But one thing I need to do probably first is make this area as good as possible so that most of the guests stick around here. So I'm not getting problems elsewhere in the park. But let's have a quick zoom out. There you go. We've got rid of that hairpin coaster up there. What else have we got rid of? I can't remember if there was something there. I'm basically not spending too much time thinking things through. There was one of those, what are they called? The reverse free fall ones there. Got rid of that. I'm being more ruthless now with some of the rides because I need to be, because it's just not working on this at all. It's too much hassle. It's too frustrating. It's not fun. And that's the main thing. And if I'm not having fun playing it, I don't know what the video is going to be. The video is probably going to be worse, but we'll carry on. I've got some ideas. Hopefully it's going to be fine. October year 3, and this is the Mouse Resort. We've got 4 hotel coasters back to back. They look great when they're like that. And really, you could, if you wanted to, you could even have another 2 at the back, and they would fit together as if they're just one giant hotel. We've got some mini golf just down here. I think this section looks really good. And then we've got the start of this island here. So we've got the vertical drop, and we've got some other rides as well. Guests are having a lot easier of a time finding their way around. A lot of it's due to the fact that we've got less guests. We've only got 1,500 guests in the park. Loan has gone up a bit, but that's fine. We're making enough money. We can cover that. I've had to spend some cash to get the guests back to this area of the park, and I think we're at a position now where we can crack on and do what I really want to do. We haven't had any issues with the park rating for a while now. It's staying up on the good. From the way it's bouncing around all over the place, it's obvious that we've got the harder rating mechanic enabled. So what that does, it means that the rating is harder to increase and maintain. So you will see it bouncing around all over the place like that. But yeah, since we've done all this, it's been great. It's been so much easier. So what I need to do then now is I need to expand this out down here and down here. Not in the same way like that, but sort of expand the pathing so I can concentrate on these areas as well. I'm gonna have to sacrifice, I think, some of the rides at the back of the park, but that's fine. We need to. There's too much wrong with it. Perhaps on Open RCT2 it would be easier because I'm sure the pathfinding is better on that. But on this, it's too much of a hassle. There's too much micromanaging with the tweezer and guests around and constantly going to see what's wrong in different areas, and it's stopping me from working on the things I need to work on. October year 5, we're getting warned. I'm sure it'll be fine. We've addressed the pathing down here, and we've rejigged it, so we've got a path loop. Oh, there you go. So it's reset, and now it's giving me another warning. And then, so we've reopened WheelAd just there. So we've got the path loop coming up. I've added a truck right there, got rid of the mine train coaster. Just down here, one thing I've done with the looping coaster, since there's only one train on the track, I've set it to be powered launch. It's still got the chain left, but it just means it's a lot faster, and it's got better stats as well. So let's have a look. Oh, there you go. So it basically launches all the way up. So you haven't got to wait around. We've seen this little island. I've got some no entry signs stopping guests going here, there, and everywhere. I haven't got rid of too much at the back just yet. The next thing I want to do, though, is I want to crack on with this area over here. So I've split the stations, but I need to address the pathing. I think if I see where the path is now, and you've got the bridge, if that is the back line of the path and everything else is after this, I think it's going to make things so much easier for us. October, year 6, and this area of the park is sort of done. Loan is down to 355,000, so that's costing us less in interest each month. So we've got the path coming all the way back to the bridge there, making it much easier for the guests. And then we've, as we said before, we've got the station split. We've got some block sections as well, just to help with throughput. One thing I did as well is I added some launch track at the start of this, so it comes out and then it launches up most of the way, not too fast, because we do have some well, there you go, there's the first drop. Just then it comes down into this sort of corkscrew into like a half loop type thing. So if we go too fast over that, oh, there you go, you'll see it now. So we press that for the speed, comes round, there you go. So it's not going too fast. There you go. I like to think if we hit a corkscrew around 40, everything's going to be okay. You know, no more than that anyway. There you go. So yeah, let's have a look at the stats on Blackout. Decent. Let's check out some profits quickly. There you go. My mouse coasters challenging at the top. So added a couple of my flying coasters just there, just to give guests a little something to do. So as you can see, some of the stations I've been redoing. One thing I did at the start was after I went round to each train, I changed the station type. So they were originally the canvas. So something I do like to do, and I do it quite often, is when I'm going around each ride, I'll just change them. So it's a very, very quick and visual. So if we change this back now to that, so it's a very quick and easy. So you can see of all the stations on this screen, you can see quite quickly that that one is the one that needs to be done. So we'll change that back anyway. So yeah, it's basically planning and pathing Tycoon at the moment. And I'm just I've kind of got this whole back road done now. We're going to basically move forward now and sort of target the rides sort of here, and then after that then we'll move forward a bit and then target the rides here. And look, we've got rid of some of the rides at the back. Yeah, it's not been great so far, which is a shame because this scenario pack has been amazing. I can't recommend the Terrorhenk pack enough, but this final scenario is just it's not fun, and it's a shame. So I don't know how I'm going to proceed, if things continue to cause me problems, but I don't want this final scenario to ruin my memory of this pack. October, year 8, so we've skipped a little bit of time now in between checking in because there's just been so much to do. I've just been concentrating on that. So we're taking 13,000 a month in ticket sales. Some of the rides are getting a bit older, so we can't charge as much, but we got the loan down to 300,000, which isn't bad. I've done a lot of work on the pathing. Let's have a look. Starting this corner. So we've seen this, and we've seen this over here. So I've disconnected this whole back row now. So it comes back around. We've got this island here. And then we've got all these rides which are down here. I've been dropping in some rides as well as my cat house 6x6. Got a nice path loop around the splashboards just down there. Path loop around here. I think I'm going to want to connect the back of this up with a load of path loops as well. Tidy up this whole area. Let's have a look at the rating. Hasn't been too bad, to be honest. I'm not sure what went wrong, but at some point I accidentally closed the toilets. That caused me some problems. I don't know why or how I did that, but I did. Yeah, so I'm not really sure how I'm going to progress. I think it's just a case of continue with the path, then do path loops and lay down some more rides. I think that's all really I can do. August year 19. So I exported this into Open RCT2. So I was able to run it on a faster version of Fast Forward, pay back the loan. That's all done. And if you look, so the park rating, it's on 999, and it's been on 999 for years, absolute years. But I'm sure if we leave this on now for long enough so that the game mechanics of Classic take over and the pathfinding of Classic takes over, we'll soon see that the rating is going to drop. So let's close the finance window and we'll keep that off in the background. So as you can see, move that up slightly to the way. So I've been around now doing pathing, dropping down a load of stalls and things like that, seating areas. I've got a load of path loops that I'm planning on dropping down some of my 6x6s and dropping down a load of coasters and things like that. Got rid of some of the scenery. I filled in the halls that were here and at the front of the park as well, just down there. Filled them in, covered them in some plants and stuff. I did disconnect the path around the outside earlier, but now I've reconnected it as well. And then what have we done? We've got like one of these boat rapid things. Just don't know what they're called, river rafts. There you go. Not really very popular with the guests, but oh well, what are you gonna do? Did have to fiddle about a bit getting the paths down there. Oh, there you go, park rating. Is it starting to take a hit now? Let's run our fast forward a second. So you can see the park rating has been on maximum for ages. And now as soon as Classic takes over, it's going haywire. It's completely bonkers. So I don't know really what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and continue playing like this. If I'm still getting problems with the rating and things like that, then I'm probably going to have to just put it back into OpenRCT2 and try something else, because what will happen is if my rating continually falls below 850, I'm not going to be able to attract any more guests. And I don't think it's fair that I should be suffering due to the different mechanics in Classic. So, yeah, but we'll see what we can do. We can always turn off that harder rating. We can't advertise because it's not allowed. Let's check out that. We'll do that. See, nothing happens. So we can't even do that. So that's banned. But we can enable that on OpenRCT2. So that's something we can think of as well. Because I want to finish this. I want to finish the pack, but I don't want it to sour what has been a great scenario pack for me. And yeah, I think that's one thing I should have done when I was doing the VJ pack, because there were some good scenarios in that, but when I think of it now, all I think of is the bad ones, and I don't want that to happen with this. And generally, I probably won't, because there's only one scenario that's been a bit iffy. But yeah, so I think I'm probably going to, because look, the rating is tanking already. So I'm going to struggle if it carries on like this. And it's not really my fault, it's the game. So yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do, but I'm sure I'll tell you sooner or later. October year 20. So I've added a load of rides, but look at the park rating. And look, you saw what it was like earlier. You saw it was on maximum after it'd been running it in Open RCT2 for years. And now we've had it running in Classic for a year. And it's like this. So this is making it a real issue for me to attract guests. So I've just added a little log flume there, added a couple of my 6x6s, just all around go-karts there, a quick and dirty twister there. The problem is with this, I can't even load it up in RCT2 because the original twister didn't have the boosters. So I'd have to get rid of that if I want to try it in RCT2, see how that handles the guest pathfinding and such. Yeah, so it's been a bit of a problem. We've seen the park rate and we've paid back the loan. I don't want to buy any of the land that's up here. I don't think I've shown you that. You can buy all this, but like I said, I don't really want to. There you go. Doesn't show it on that view. It shows it on that view. Yeah, I don't really want to have to do that. So I think the plan then is we're going to switch off advertising and the harder rating, and maybe run it on fast forward on OpenRCT2 for a bit. Get that rating up past the scenario and crack on with something else, because I'm not just in the groove with this one. It's just not for me. There's too many issues to address. Like, I've had to rejig some of the pathing for some of these rides, and it's just too much. Oh, there you go. Now we're getting a warning again, something that we never had in what, 10 years on OpenRCT2. We never got that warning once because it was just constantly on maximum. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and we can pass the scenario. August year 23, park rating is on maximum, and it has been for ages, ever since I exported it back into OpenRCT2. Magic. It's funny that, isn't it? Yeah, I'm sure it'll tumble now. We've got advertising on, so we've enabled that. We've got 4,740 guests. We need 4,750 to pass the goal. So yeah, we have had to resort to changing some of the parameters for the game. Okay. Do we have to wait for the day to finish before it recognizes it? There you go. Yes, we do. Cool. Stu! Fantastic. Yeah, so a bit of a annoying one, I suppose. I'm sure on OpenRCT2 this would be easier, as we've proved. It is easier. So I don't know, I think I might have a look now, and see. I'll run some experiments in the background, and maybe I'll flash some graphics up on screen, and maybe some text as well. Look, we got my little tiny torrents down there. One thing I have been doing with the advertising is I've been advertising this ride, the splash boats, because it's such high capacity that any guest in the park, I want them coming over to here. It's never been full. It's really hard to get them full, especially in a park this size. I think the park looks pretty good, though. Some of the rides that Terrorhenk added, as you can see, I've been spamming some trees and stuff down. Some of these rides, like this one, this ride looks superb. Stats are fantastic on it. It flows really well. Yeah, and this hypercoaster as well. Guests have been loving that. It's consistently been the highest profit ride in the park. Oh, there you go. It's the second one now. Where's the favorite? Guest favorite. There you go. It's just been in the top two. Perhaps the extra scenery that I've dropped down has just given this one a bit of a boost. But that's one of Henk's as well. I haven't got too many in here. I mean, I've made slight changes in some of them, but the only coasters that are mine are the flying coasters just there. I added this looping coaster as a way of just sort of reusing some of the scenery and stuff down there. Obviously the hotel's there. The suspended coaster just there. I've added some water rides, some of these little boat rides and things in, just so we get the 6 water rides into the park to make us eligible for awards. And we've been winning awards as well. I added this mine train coaster just around the outside. Quick and dirty, because that's what it is. Where else? This bike ride just down by there. And this mine train coaster as well. There. Got a corkscrew bunker just there. And that twister and the hairpin just there. So I've added a few. One thing I did notice is we were sort of hovering around the 4,000s on the guest numbers. It wasn't really going up. And so I closed all the balloon stalls, because I know that when guests hold a balloon, it's one sprite. But when they then drop the balloon is an extra sprite. So I'm just wondering if there was like we were hitting the sprite limit, which is normally the guest limit is in like the 9,000s, but there's a sprite limit. So if you've got too many sprites, it reduces the amount of guests. I don't know enough to know for sure. This is a problem there, isn't it? Now there's a problem. See, now this would be a good way of seeing. So have a look at this guest heading for Rockchu. Well, let's see what they do. They go up. Oh, they found their way. No, they turn around. They're coming back. So there's a definite issue there. Where is the entrance to Rockchu? I don't know. So there you go. This is a really good example of the issues that I have been facing. So the entrance to Rockchu is there. Just down here. Right there. So those guests are getting stuck. Where are they getting stuck? Over there. Which is that one of my paths? I think it is. But it just highlights some of the issues. So really what I could do is I could do like a tunnel from one side to the other, but I'm not playing this anyway. But this would be a good example. So if I then compare this now, maybe I'll do it like that. And I can do like a side by side of this part in Classic and then that part in OpenRCT2. Maybe it'll be, I don't know, just a static picture or maybe a GIF or something. I don't know. How fancy can we get? And that might help show some of the issues as well. Another thing as well, suggested by Duval the Hobbit, thanks for the suggestion, is to have a look to see how many guests. Oh, there you go, 58 guests saying they can't find Wheelad. So if I save it there. So I've got a good way of starting off. I can't find Wheelad, 57. Can't find Blackout, 30. Can't find Tiger. What about guests getting lost? Still got the good rating, no? That's probably because we haven't got guests getting. They haven't got lost yet. They can't find the ride. I think eventually they'll probably get let. Oh, there you go. Can't find the park exit. Only one. Wow. Yeah, anyway, so I've waffled on enough. Hopefully I'll have found some way of adding some graphics to sort of show you the issues that I've been having. But yeah, this was, yeah, it didn't do it for me, which is a shame because the actual scenario, the Terrorhenk scenario, has been fantastic. And there's only been maybe, was it the Rotten Marsh, that one? That was just a bit of a pain with the scenario, but everything else has been fantastic, apart from this one as well. But yeah, they've all been fantastic, and I can't recommend the Terrorhenk pack enough. Yeah, so this has been Terrorworld, the final scenario from the Terrorhenk pack. Terrorhenk did actually send me over links to a couple more scenarios, but there's just a few glitches with them that don't work in Classic, so I won't be doing those. Does have a harder pack with, I'm not sure, maybe half a dozen scenarios in there. I'll probably tackle at some point. But yeah, for nowsies, this is all from the Terrorhenk Scenario Pack. I've been Stu. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you soon. Bye.